Duff, you were definitely in rehab, right?
Yeah, you've seen it before and after.
Matt, what were you on?
I like cocaine.
So you were on coke.
Yeah.
Scott was on heroin. And you guys,
cocaine and tequila was my combo platter.
Right. So you guys said, hey, wait a second, we'll take you to be in our band because what do we care? We know what it's like. Slash, were you ever in rehab?
Yeah, I went once.
Well, what were you in there for?
I was in for heroin too, but I was only there for a limited amount of time because I decided I'm not this up.
Ready for this today?
We're ready. We're on tour right now. We're well-oiled, well-lubed.
And what's the name of the new
sex machine. Contraband.
Look who I'm sitting here with. These guys sound better. I was just listening to them in rehearsal.
In rehearsal?
I got to join this band.
This is your band.
It's a good-looking band. It's a cool band. See, how do I work these mics? What do I got to do? Wireless.
What is he doing?
It should be working.
So what's happening?
Say
Can
something,
we talk
Scott.
to them?
Right here.
I'll talk to you first, and I'll talk to the other dudes. Are you blending in with this band, or are you sometimes accidentally calling them Stone Temple Pilots?
No, man. We're Velvet Revolver, a rock and roll band.
All right, let me get this straight. What happened was you were in Stone Temple Pilots last time I looked around.
Yeah, that was last time I was here was about 2.5 years ago.
Right. You were with those guys, but they were a pain in the ass because they freaked out every time you went into rehab. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like every time I turned around I was in the back of a cop car. But, you're the only person who can get away with asking me those questions anymore.
Well, it's so fascinating. You know what I mean? And what is the new band's policy? They're like, hey, we love when you're in rehab.
I think we've all spent a lot of time, every one of us.
Has everyone been in rehab in Guns N' Roses, pretty much?
I think that's where they met.
I think we've all been to rehab. Right?
Roommates.
Yeah.
Were you guys roommates?
We were roommates, yeah.
Yeah.
We
in rehab?
Yeah.
No kidding.
There was 4 bunk beds when there was 2 guys from the high desert.
Yeah.
Out near Riverside, Pomona
right.
area. Speed Freak guys, and then me and Scott.
Matt, what were you on?
I like cocaine.
So you were on coke.
Yeah.
Scott was on heroin.
Cocaine and tequila was my combo platter.
Right. So you guys said, hey, wait a second, we'll take you to be in our band because what do we care? We know what it's like. Slash, were you ever in rehab?
Yeah, I went once.
Well, what were you in there for?
I was in for heroin too, but I was only there for a limited amount of time because I decided I'm not this up,
No, don't follow it up with that word either.
I'm sorry. I went for a little while and then I straightened myself out.
What a hip rehab facility.
Well, they wouldn't let me out. I had to force myself out.
Oh, I see.
You escaped.
All right. Yeah. So Slash was in rehab. Matt was in rehab.
We know Duff was.
Duff, you were definitely in rehab, right?
Yeah, you've seen it before and after.
Dude, you look incredibly ripped, like you've been working out or something.
Yeah, same old thing.
Hey, you look good. Hey, you look good, man.
Thanks.
And what were you in rehab for?
Oh, I ended up in the hospital. My pancreas blew up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm into that.
How do you do that?
You abuse it for a long time.
What was your drugs? Heroin?
No, a lot of cocaine, a lot of pills, and a lot of alcohol.
Wow.
Was it cool when your pancreas blew up?
It was not cool at all. No.
Could you feel it? I mean, does it make a loud sound?
Robin, it's third-degree burns on the inside of your...
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Well, Scott's a piker compared to you.
I gotta add that Dave Kushner over here is pretty much the sponsor for the whole band.
Dave, have you ever been in rehab?
Actually, I haven't.
You haven't?
That's the only one that got,
You're high now.
Straightened out.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Thanks, John.
So is everybody off everything now? I mean, is everybody straight now?
Clean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we're all now members of the Church of Jesus Christ as Latter-day Saints. No,
we started that too.
No, we're just joking.
Because, Scott, you don't sound straight.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's the thing. That's the reason why we're able to be out here touring and doing what we're doing is because we are all clean. And
well, let me ask you a new band.
Anybody got a chip? How many chips do we have?
If Scott, well, let me ask the other band this. Like Slash, if Scott has to go back into rehab, are you going to dump him from the band, or are you going to stick with him, unlike Stone Temple Pilots?
I'm never going back into rehab.
You're not?
I'm never getting loaded again. This is like
you said that
the way my life is, going to be now.
Scott, I love you, but even I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Hey.
Come on. Scott,
I've seen
every time Scott comes in here, he tells me that.
Right. Well, all things considered, I've seen.
I kicked my habit a year ago.
Did you really?
And I'm just not going back into that.
Yeah. Well,
after
this appearance, you might want to. You never know. After I get through it.
Besides, I want to get one thing clear. You mentioned earlier, my wife and I are divorced. We're not divorced. We decided not to.
Oh, really?
I went through major things. I decided I needed to, become a man. That was one thing different than when I was sober for a couple of years, and the woman made me jump through hoops to get her back.
Well, I'm glad you're together.
And I am divorced, but I'm remarried with somebody else.
No kidding.
It's been a while since I talked to you last. I've been married. I've got a second kid on the way.
So this is a different hot chick.
Yeah, a Cuban hot chick. To tell you.
Nice.
I have to do a urine analysis.
Are you kidding?
You know
every single show day.
You know you're hardcore when like a judge and a DA have to let you go on tour. So now, when Axl left the band, nobody understood that. That was crazy, right? But now you got Scott. Scott's a great frontman.
Let me get one thing straight on that one.
Go ahead.
The band sort of left Axl.
Okay.
He just kept the name. And then we're not all really, like Duff and I were original members, and we recruited Matt because he was the best drummer in the world.
Right.
Originally, he was in the Cult.
Right.
So when
by the way, a great band.
My point was, it's not Scott joining Guns N' Roses. It's nothing like that.
It's like everybody coming to the table. Now, Scott, what happened with you and Stone Temple Pilots? I mean, those guys, what's really going on there?
There were just years and years of us like loving each other, and then there being, I think a lot of jealousy at times, and then, there were periods of us using drugs together.
Right.
And then, there were periods of...
where you were just using.
When then, a couple of people would clean up.
Right.
And then I would be getting loaded by myself, and then I would clean up, and then, we would get loaded together, and then that cycle would go on and on.
If you guys had just all gotten loaded together all the time, it might have worked out.
It would have been one big happy family. But,
are those guys mad now that you're with this new band?
You know what? Actually, we went through a period where on our last tour where it got really bad, and then I didn't speak to them for a long time, and then we started this band, and then when we were recording our album, Velvet Revolver, Robert and Dean happened to be producing the Alien Ant Farm album, the latest one,
right.
And they were in the room right next to us at NRG Recording Studios, and it was a really uncomfortable situation, obviously. Right. So finally, I just decided that, you know what, I have to be the man in this situation.
You have to commit to one band or another.
Well, no, I have to go over and make amends to them and kind of own up to my side of the street, because the last time that I saw them was in the dressing room, and it almost turned into a fist fight between Dean and I. So
that would have been cool. Who would have won that fight?
I wrote a letter to him and got the letter to him and just really apologized from the bottom of my heart. And he ended up coming up to me and saying, everything that you said is exactly the way I felt. And we gave each other a hug and we spoke. We talked about it for a long time. And then, and really cleared the air. And then the next day, Robert came up to me, and then we basically shared the same sentiments. And
have you heard from them since?
So is there still a Stone Temple
but you know
Pilots?
what? Mary and their wives speak very frequently, and
so there's no animosity.
No, not any longer.
So is there still a Stone Temple Pilots?
You know what? I don't really.
Who knows?
Who knows? You know, but if there will ever happen again, like anything way down the road, but I just can't really see that happening. And this is an actual band. This isn't a one-off project, Velvet Revolver. This is a band that we plan on having a long career for. I plan on this being the thing that I close out my rock and roll life with.
Wow. You know? All right. Well, that's a cool commitment. What is it, Gary?
Hey, I got a question for the guys from Guns N' Roses. When you guys saw Axl on the MTV Awards a couple years ago with that band and that Buckethead thing, were you guys like embarrassed for it?
I didn't see it.
You've never seen it?
I refused to see it.
Like a year later.
Why do you refuse to see it?
I was going to school at the time, and having kids, and I just didn't see it.
What kind of school?
Going to school?
I went to a nice Jesuit school.
Jesuit?
Yeah.
What, high school?
No, yeah, right.
What kind of school? What were you studying?
Thanks, Robin.
What were you trying to learn?
Finance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were going to be a businessman?
I'd like to go over my portfolio with Duff.
So I saw it a year later.
Slash, why do you refuse to see it?
It was one of those things where I got a bunch of phone calls one morning and leaving me messages going, what was that whole thing about on TV? And I didn't know what anybody was, what it was.
Yeah, what is that?
And so I called.
Why couldn't he be with you guys? I don't understand.
Well, I'd been gone for a while. Duff had been gone for a while. Matt had been gone for a while. It was over with. When it finally ended, it was like no turning back kind of thing. And so when I heard what it was the MTV Awards, and I heard the reaction from the people that saw it, I didn't want to see something. I didn't want to leave, have that memory of whatever Guns N' Roses was. When I left, it was still sort of cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think it's over for that, right?
Our memories are pretty good of the.
It was a great band. Yeah. Great band. I got to get more ink. Well, you guys got major ink.
See, as soon as you see guys who are all tatted up, you think you need to do that, too.
Well, sometimes my ink goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, but I don't have a tattoo of myself on my ass, by the way. I don't know where you heard that.
Who said that you...
on your arm.
Who said on your arm it's a tattoo of you?
No, it's a chick. Her name's Shirley. She's sort of my alter ego, I think.
So you're sticking with the wife. You're not having sex with anybody else, huh?
I've been 100% monogamous.
Wow, look at you.
I know. Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
That's a little depressing.
But have you been on the road?
Yeah.
Right.
This is going to be our 7th gig on Wednesday, right?
Okay.
They all live vicariously through me. I'm the only single guy.
Wow. And you guys aren't doing you guys don't even do mushrooms or anything?
No, the last
kidding
thing.
Me. Scott, you're allowed to do mushrooms, aren't you?
Nothing, man. I have to say that the judge and the DA were gracious to allow me to tour, and every single show day I have to do a urine analysis.
Are you kidding?
Every single show day.
You know you're hardcore when like a judge and a DA have to let you go on tour.
That's the truth, man.
Right.
Well, can you imagine, having to go in a cup before you go on stage every day?
Yeah,
during the show day, at some point during the day, I have to do the old.
Wow.
With all due respect to Scott, man, he's been through a lot.
Yes,
to get to this point where we're all here together right now. So.
You're the only person that I'm, talking to about this because I've been so. I know.
So
sorry.
effing. Effing.
You got like
so
a 7
effing sick of talking about this stuff that I've just refused.
What with drugs and everything?
Yeah, it's just.
No, you got to talk to me about it, man. How many times a day do you have sex with her?
As many as possible.
Really? She's that good, huh?
She's wonderful.
And she does it all. Scott, what do you like when you're high? Are you like a retarded baby like me, or are you different? Are you mean and aggressive?
No, I'm not. Somehow I always land on my feet.
Right. Do you miss it?
No, I don't miss it at all, actually. It's
I know Slash does.
A bad memory.
No, I don't.
You don't miss it?
It took me a long time to get to that point, too. But finally, after enough of what you call relapses and going, you know what, the morning after, it's just not worth it.
You don't even drink?
I still drank a little bit.
That's what I thought.
I was talking about the dope,
Right.
No.
I'm just fearing the day when my pancreas blows up.
No, Artie's got to drink.
You didn't know about that happening.
Yeah, I never heard of that happening.
Artie had 500 Jack on Waters in Vegas.
And 10 million shots of tequila.
Oh, it's Vegas.
Hey, Howard, I got a question for the Guns N' Roses guys. You guys must be offered boatloads of money to do like a reunion. Do you guys even talk to Axl anymore? Would you ever perform with him again?
No.
No way.
I don't think it's an issue between. I don't think Axl would do it. I know we wouldn't do it.
When was the last time you spoke?
The money's been unreal.
Axl's got fat. He got fat.
I don't know what's up with him.
Dude, come on.
It's so I'm not in that loop.
You never run into him?
No, I haven't seen him since the day I quit.
What about that that story we heard that Axl was performing somewhere and Slash was standing in the back of the room or something?
No. It's not that big a deal. I went to go see New Year's of year before last, I guess it was, or a year before that. I went to go see him in Las Vegas, and I wasn't allowed in. It was a big thing around the entire building. It was like, make sure I didn't go.
Why did you go?
I went because I saw it. I was actually in a hotel in Las Vegas, like right before that, like in December, and I saw an ad for Guns N' Roses with a new logo and all this stuff. You know,
that had to piss you off.
It looked exciting. No, it looked exciting. You know, it looked like I'm going to go see Guns N' Roses, a band I used to be in. You know,
I'm a big fan, but it does appear that Axl lost his hair and has some sort of hair weave. And
I have no idea.
And his voice seems to have been affected by something. It's not as strong.
And he looks like he had plastic surgery on his face.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
I didn't
right?
see any of that.
Scott, did he?
I don't know. There's something going on with the eyebrow part.
I've been in the best seat in the house for 3 bands that I've been in, right? The Cult with Ian Astbury, great front man.
Right.
Axl Rose,
right.
Great front man.
Great front man.
Scott Weiland is the world's greatest rock and roll front man.
He is great.
Now.
He is great.
Right. We've got Scott Weiland.
No,
we don't need to talk about.
You guys are making me blush.
We don't need to talk about Axl anymore.
Come here, Scott. I'm gonna give you some anal right now.
He's better than,
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Better than Justin Timberlake?
100 times. He's the expletive.
All right. So this is a real band. You guys are gonna stay together.
That's one thing we've picked up over the years.
Right. You guys are all happy to have found each other. Yeah. It is a love fest.
It's something like that, I guess, you know.
How do you write all this stuff? Like, what is Scott? You write the lyrics or something, or what?
Yeah, it's really a collective thing, though. You know, we have a really strong work ethic. You know, we rehearse 5 days a week, and you know, because of that, someone will come up with an idea, you know, like a riff, and then we'll all sit around and kind of jam on that,
right?
And you know, kind of start whittling away at the idea, and then record, you know, what comes out of that riff. That riff will turn into a song, and then record it to DAT, and then.
I'm writing this down because
You're going to put this together with your band.
I'm going to do it with my band.
Lyrics and a melody to it, and then we'll sort of all figure out like some harmony ideas, and a lot of times because Duff and Matt are such good singers as well, those guys will do the backup parts, the harmonies, and then we have a song.
And where's all this going on? Somebody got a studio? Or?
Where do we go to, like Slash's house?
Yep.
North Hollywood or Burbank?
Over Burbank.
Scott's got a warehouse that we all sort of.
You go to a warehouse?
Yeah.
That's cool. I
the
gotta
band
do
took
that.
it over. It's a rehearsal space as well as a recording studio.
Yeah.
That's cool. And didn't you bring chicks over there too?
The wives
Not
now.
these days, man.
No.
You know?
Apparently only Matt gets to bring
Robin,
Yeah,
it's
Matt's
just
a
Matt.
playboy.
Robin, you
Matt's
know
a
what? Fess
playboy.
up, Robin.
You guys are nuts. You
Robin's
guys should all
been-
be single.
She's
bringing
been
chicks.
over about
You should
a
bring
dozen
chicks.
times.
You should bring chicks to rehearsal.
No, Matt's the Prince of Hollywood.
Yeah, I bet.
It's true. We do all live
You know that
vicariously
Tommy
through
Lee guy?
Matt.
That Tommy Lee guy has nothing on me, man.
Nice.
Nothing.
I like that.
You know, Dave, our guitar player, our new guitar player, Dave. Well, he's not our new guitar player. He is our guitar player.
Right.
Because we're not new. We are all new.
It's confusing being in a band.
We're new, but we're not. But he's new. But Dave got married right before we went on tour.
That was smart.
I said, Dave, I don't know if that's a good idea.
We joked about that.
You need to go
last
out
night.
and
Yeah,
experience
you guys will screw up. Don't worry. You'll see. It'll all be that way.
I've done it, been there. I don't think so.
We'll see. You never get old.
I got enough on my plate with the one I have. I don't think anybody's going to touch that.
Really? How many times a day do you have sex with her?
As many as possible.
Really? She's that good, huh?
She's wonderful.
And she does it all. You know what this is like with you guys coming together? It's almost like if Pam Anderson and Carmen Electra merged into one person. Yeah, Ron, go ahead.
Excellent. Quick question. What's going to be with the new concerts when you guys go out?
What does that mean?
We're out on tour right now.
But what's your question?
My question is being a huge Guns N' Roses fan and a huge STP fan, this is like, almost a dream come true that you guys would get together after thinking that you guys are both gone.
Oh, so what do you want to know? If they're going to play songs from each band?
Exactly.
Yeah. What about that, Scott? Well, are you going to do some Stone Temple Pilots, or is that forbidden?
You know what? Actually, we do. We play. We play a couple Guns N' Roses songs and a couple STP songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they cover a couple of ABBA tunes, too, which is a surprise on the tour.
Poorly, though.
Yes, on purpose. You know what this is like with you guys coming together? It's almost like if Pam Anderson and Carmen Electra merged into one person.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's the first. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah, you can quote me on that on your album.
That would be one smart chick.
Well, you guys, listen, I wish you a lot of luck. You guys are all good guys. You deserve success. You've already had success. I guess you deserve success again. Velvet Revolver album, Contraband. Certainly an appropriate title.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. It sort of follows you guys around, Contraband.
Hey, and good luck with your war against the FCC.
Forget it, man. I'm going down.
You will prevail, though.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you will.
Trust me, I've been battling with them as well during the setup and the launch of this record.
They didn't want any curse words?
Man, you know what? I have never seen so much censorship in the entire 10 years with STP.
Wow. Yeah, I know. We've taken 20 steps backward, and who cares anyway? Yeah. Why is everyone getting so crazy?
All of a sudden, right?
Scott, how'd it go in there?
Rock and roll show, early in the morning.
You guys thought it went all right in there?
Huh? No, I mean, you know, all things considered, if everybody else thought it was all right, then it was all right. We don't know what we were doing.
And Howard wanted to bring up some old stuff about GNR and Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
You guys didn't mind talking about that?
It's all right to an extent. You know, as long as it doesn't take too long, it doesn't get too involved.
Is it better coming from Howard than from some other interviewer?
You know what? All things considered, it's a lot more acceptable to listen to Howard's questions and try and ascertain where he's going than it is from anybody else, I gotta say.